Okay, that went much better than I thought it was gonna go. Hi, thanks so much for joining me. Today we are doing a little get ready with me featuring some new makeup that I recently picked up. So we've got some Chanel here. I've got a new concealer color. I have an eyeshadow that we'll be trying on, a new YSL blush, which has been getting some nice reviews, so I wanted to give it a try. And I think we might have a couple of other new things thrown in there, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and start out with this Sisley Lip product I got. This is that PH product, and it's in Pink Glow. I just ordered the Carolina Herrera, which is so cute. I don't know how large it is, so I purchased the PH version of it. I think there were like 2 or 3 other shades as well. And then I selected a little mini case for it, and I think it can be used as a bag charm or some kind of charm. I didn't order the circle part that goes with it, but I think I can attach it to something, and I think it's a really good idea. So hopefully that will go up maybe next week when it arrives. I still have to try on my Hermes. That palette has yet to come in, the Hermes palette. Not sure how to get my hair out of my face here for demonstration purposes. I know it can be kind of distracting. So maybe I'll put part of my hair up. Cute little snail clip here. You saw the vlog, pick this up. It's really so sweet. Oh, and I did find a place to purchase it online. So if you wanted it, I'll put a little shopping link for you. So let's do primer. And this is the mattifying primer by Chanel that I have been using. And I still haven't used the whole thing. And it's got 1 fluid ounce in there. Now I don't wear this every single day, but I do use it quite frequently, but I just use a little bit, like this much. So I'm gonna go ahead and just prime the center. Now we're gonna try a couple of different things with the concealers today because I want to see what it looks like on bare skin. I actually have I tried this on bare skin? I kind of tried it like on top of other products just to see, but I purchased one of the new shades, the Chanel concealer in BD41. So that is my perfect shade match. And I have the Ultra Le Teint, the foundation. This is one of their best foundations for me. And I thought we could try BD41 with this as well. So let's go in with a couple of options. Let's do the color corrector first, and this is a new one. I really like this one. This one's in Pesche. This is not new, but you can see Pesche versus BD41. Like, it almost looks like Pesche is just a better concealer for me. So let's try this on dark spots first, and then we'll layer the concealer on. So let's add that here. And then on the other side, let's just do concealer directly on the skin and see what that looks like, to see if there's a difference with the color corrector versus no color corrector. So you can see the dry skin there, I think. You can see the tones are definitely different. We've got a peachy tone here, and then I always go for a peachy tone anyway, so I wonder if like I should just stick with a Pesche, but I thought we would try this because a lot of you like this concealer, but I've never found a shade that worked really well. And my idea of using this would be for minimal makeup days when I just want to spot conceal. Actually, that doesn't look bad, does it? And I thought, especially here, for these broken capillaries, it would be good because it does have a little, like a slightly, almost an olive tone in there. So great for canceling out some redness. Okay, so that's just this. Actually, let's do a little side by side because I want to see how this looks on the chin also, because that's another place I definitely conceal. I've got redness there too. And then sometimes it's a little dull. We're gonna experiment here. I know some of us really just like concealer. Some of us like foundation and concealer. And then let's go under the eye. And I wanted to compare this for you also against this eye concealer. This is specifically for the eye area, this one by Chanel. And this one's in B40, no, just 40. This is my favorite eye concealer right now. It's really nice, but it's for more perfected looks, I think. A little goes a long way. So it also has, I looked at the difference, and this one has a lot of skincare benefits. So this is the under eye concealer is a little peachier, but you can see the warmth there. And then this is the BD41. So let's go under the eye with BD41 also. This is not the eye concealer. This is BD41. I picked up what I had in my hand here. So this might be nice also for redness, which I can tend to get if I'm gonna have an issue. So that's just concealer, BD41. Nice finish on this. It's not settling into pores. A little goes a long way. Okay, now let's do the same thing with peach. So just wiped this off so I don't have any of the concealer on here. And I'm just going to apply the peach. Yes, this is a great comparison. So I'm just going to apply the peach here. So I think at one time I looked at the ingredient deck for the concealer and the color corrector and they looked very similar. Let me know if you know. I haven't checked recently though, but I think originally when this came out, I checked because I was trying to see if there was a difference. Maybe a different story now, but at that time, they looked very similar. So this is Pesche, and this is BD41. Okay, so I think the idea is to layer them. So to start with color corrector first and then go in with the concealer. Okay, so let me just lean in here. So BD41 concealer, Pesche the color corrector. So you can see the difference in the tones there, and then I'll scoot back. Okay, so I'm going to now apply a little bit of the concealer, BD41, on top of the color corrector. So it is slightly like lighter than my skin tone, but again, I like to go lighter than darker. Although I have to say I ordered a couple more concealers because they're coming out and I love concealers. I think they're so powerful. And the one that I ordered from Westman Atelier, I think will be a little bit deeper. And then I also ordered one from Cils because I love their SPF products. Oh, I didn't blend very well here. Okay, well, this is what it looks like on direct skin. So I'm going to go in with the Ultra Le Temps and see if we need to add any more. Typically, I would just go in with this first and then add concealer, but because I wanted to see it directly on the skin, we're gonna add this after. Let me just find a foundation brush that I haven't actually already used yet. Okay, let's just use this mirrored brush. I'm just gonna stipple in the front here not to mess up the concealer too much, and then sweep out. I feel like the contrast with my hair is making me look much, much lighter than I am. Okay, let's go in with a little bit of Trench right under the eye as usual. Here's Trench by Victoria Beckham. Maybe this will help you to see, for me to show you the difference. This here is the under eye concealer, 40. This is BD41 right next to it, so it's definitely lighter, not as peachy. This right here, that's the color corrector. So you can see that it's got actually deeper than 40. Definitely peachier. So I hope that helps in case you're looking at any of these. And you can see that the textures are different as well. Let's go in with a little bit of Pesche here. Just a little bit of darkness showing through. I'm gonna wipe this off and go in with the concealer, BD41. Yeah, I feel like BD41 meshes nicely with BD41, the foundation. Just use excess. Oh, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of peach under here, Pesche. Same over here, let's do Pesche. And then let's do BD41 over that. Okay, just lost my brush. Let's take a different brush. Let's use this brush. This is a number 35 REPHR. It's very minor, the difference. I feel like if you have more warmth to your face, maybe BD41 is better. But for me, I'm actually a little bit neutral, so I think the Pesche is really nice, but layered is nice as well. So I had a question about brows, how to manage this baby blade. So I'm gonna show you how I go in with this so it doesn't look like a marker. So it's super light-handed here in the front. I feel like this place right here makes the biggest difference. So if I go in light-handedly, also not to be super moisturized, I noticed actually this past weekend when we were away, I had a lot of moisturizer on my skin, and because I think I was using a different one to travel with, and even my Gucci brow pencil was going on like a marker. So this spoolie also is your friend if it goes too heavy here. And really it's this part that makes the biggest difference. I can go pretty heavy-handed here. Let me do that so I can show you. But it's also little, like teeny tiny little hairs versus, I mean, this can look very solid if I applied it like a solid line, but I'm doing very quick little hairs there. And then breaking up the pigment there at the front. So you can see it's less dense here than here. So I hope that helps, but that was fast. So maybe also not taking as much time, maybe starting with little to begin with. Like that's, you can go pretty fine with this, and also maybe angling it so it's like the longer side is like this versus, how can I explain this? So it's not round. It's almost a triangle shape. So if it's taller going this way versus like this way, if it's this way, it's going to be much more of a thicker line. But if it's this way, like standing tall, then it's a little bit more fine as well. So let me just show you. So I'm going to turn it on its side so it's thicker, and then you'll see, well, also I'm pressing harder, so maybe that's not a great illustration, but maybe pay attention to the direction or the angle that this is applying. So even if you go, gosh, it's really hard to explain. So see if it's a triangle, that top part of the triangle, if that's what I have focused right here, it's going to be the slimmest line. So maybe play also with this on, maybe on paper, so you can see that depending on the angle that it's turned, is it the angle or the, I don't even know how we call it, angle? The degree in which you turn it is going to also influence how thick or thin the line will be, along with the pressure. So I hope that was helpful, but in any case, doing this helps to really break up the pigments. It softens it up. And I think right here, I pay the most attention to make sure it's nice and really nice and soft in the front. Okay, so I hope that helps. Okay, so now I have gone in with my brows. I didn't put that much on, but it sure looks like I did. At least I don't think I put a lot on. And I added the brow gel today, and it's not clear. I went in with the light brunette in Jones Road, the Jones Road Beauty brow. And I really like a little bit more of a statement brow with the bangs, because I feel like it balances it out, or is not as evident as when I had my hair back. I actually wore this without brow pencil today, and it was really nice. So let's go in quickly with this, which I think I mentioned came back into stock. It's in light coral. It's the one that I use the most out of the three that I have. So let me find, I really need to wash my brushes. So I'm gonna just take this REPHR 4, and I'm gonna go in here. Thought we could do a really, really quick eye. I hope that's blended. I didn't even really check, but I thought we could do a quick eye because I want to try this other Chanel in Blanc Parle, which when I tried it on the vlog, totally different idea. And I think I figured out which one I really should have picked up, but we will try it on with this. This is Brun Talpa. This is my favorite one and done from Chanel. It's really pretty. So I just have a REPHR B03 here. No powder yet, or let's see if we even need powder. Okay, so that's super quick. So I love this one. It's really pretty with pretty much no work. Then we're gonna go in with this, and we're gonna top this off and see what this looks like, because it really made my eyeshadow look pink, which is not what I'll see. It does make my eyeshadows look pink. So it's a multi-dimensional kind of reflective quality. It enhances it for sure, but it also looks like makeup-y. So I feel like this would be great for me for the evening, because I love the very minimal makeup look. but this definitely transforms an eyeshadow. So if you're looking for something that will transform eyeshadow, it's a very unique product. So yeah, it doesn't look anything like this in here, but looks very different on. Love the Chantecaille Faux Cils longest lash. Time for blush. So, let's see, my hair is out of the way here. So this is the YSL Make Me Blush Liquid Blush, and I got it because I recall it say something about blurring. I've tried a few blurring blushes that did not work for me, so I don't know why I think this one will be any different, but this is in the shade 44, and it says to use 1 dot. I looked at directions for once because I wanted to see if I could get this to work. It says apply 1 dot and blend with fingers for a healthy flush. Okay, I don't know if they're considering that I would have concealer under here. I'm a little concerned it's gonna lift it off. Then apply 2 dots and blend upward for a boosted blush, and then apply 3 dots for a rush of color. So when I just tried this on really quickly in my, that's not a mirror, it's my phone, in the vlog, it gave me a lot of color really fast. So let's try the 1 dot first. 1 dot and then 1 dot. Okay, and then I'm just going to use my fingers. I feel like this is not the best. This might be good if I didn't have makeup on, like on bare skin, because then I wouldn't worry so much about moving makeup around. Okay, so I have another clean Merit brush. I have a lot of these. So I'm going to use a brush to just stipple this on because I am concerned that using my hand is just gonna lift. So I'm going to use my brush and pick up the product, and then I'm going to just kind of brush it onto my hand so it's not super dense in certain places, and then we'll stipple it on. Okay, so it is revealing a little bit of that discoloration up front now, but let's keep going and see. We can always layer concealer on top if we need. And then let's see what the finish is like. The color is really pretty. Like, I feel like this was the most neutral of them, I think, in the pink category. Not too warm, not too cool. The other ones, like one I think even said peach or maybe apricot or something like that. Now, what I'm noticing is that the texture is quite smooth, which is pretty. It kind of reminds me actually of the Cream to Powder blush product by Chanel. It had a nice, like a lovely perfecting kind of, this kind of blush. Lovely perfecting kind of finish on the skin. Very second skin-like. It's pretty, like the finish is really pretty. Okay, let's add some more, but it is disrupting just a little bit of that concealer. Not too much. This is one of those products that I think, how would this do directly on skin and not on, it's doing fine on the foundation because it's such a thin layer, but on top of concealer, I feel like any liquidy blush is going to be emollient to begin with, which makes it liquid, but then that also lends a certain potential to disrupt anything else because it is emollient. So I think it's inherent in the design of a liquid blush product. But it's not like a runny fluid kind of liquid, it's pretty creamy. And I do like though that it is giving a nice evenness to the texture of the skin, because anytime concealer is added, in most cases, I'm gonna say Clé de Peau doesn't do that, you can see like a texture to the skin because you're adding product on top of the skin. It just is usually what happens with concealers. But this is kind of taking that away and meshing together the texture of the skin to make it look nice and smooth. So I think that blurring aspect, I should look it up. I think what they're going after is blurring the texture of the skin. Okay, highly pigmented and creamy, oh, it is creamy liquid to blush. So it's not liquid, it's a creamy liquid. It's blendable, buildable, and melts into the skin for a blurring soft cloud finish and 12-hour wear. 12-hour wear. So it does have a long wear time as well. It's actually quite pretty. So now that makes me wonder, maybe we can do this in an upcoming video. Let me know if you'd like to see it. how this would do against one of the Chanel, these blushes, because I feel like I'm getting a similar finish, but again, I won't know till I do the side by side. I have another one, Rose Ardent. This one I haven't tried yet. Actually, they look kind of similar in color, don't they? We can do a side by side in the next video when I have the Hermes palette, and then let's try a side by side. Will that help? Let me know, because I can definitely do that. But I feel like we're getting a similar finish, which is really pretty. Okay, so remember how I use the Chanel Water Fresh tint to kind of emulsify makeup and help smooth it out and perfect it, especially if it starts breaking up. So this kind of is reminding me of that process. So this kind of broke up the concealer, but then it is putting it back together as I stipple it together and then making it smoother in the process. I'm gonna go over my nose like this. So I really like this. This is done much better than the other blurring blushes that I've been trying. Yeah, it's reminding me a lot of the Chanel blushes. Okay, that is very pretty. Now, my next question is if it disrupts it this much, if I go in with Pesche, let's go in with Pesche because I use Pesche here. Is this Pesche? I think it is. It's so small. Yes, Pesche. So let's just dot that on. And then let's dot it on here too, because it's very minor, but I can see it. So what if we did this and then we kind of just let it sit there, and then we go in with this YSL blush, and then let's stipple on top of that and see if we can get them to play nicely. So that we're not lifting off, rather applying almost simultaneously in the layers that we want. That way we're not lifting in. Actually, that worked. So just before letting this set first, the concealer or the color corrector, before letting it set, just go right on top of it with that blush, and you're kind of applying them at the same time, but again, in the sequence that you want them in, versus putting the concealer or the color corrector down and then disrupting it with the liquid. I think that actually worked really nicely. So here it is. Okay, I have a lot of blush on that because we're just experimenting. All my brushes are falling, but then we are experimenting here, but you can see how lovely that looks like. I'm not gonna powder because I really love how that looks. It's really pretty. It's beautiful. Ooh, I like that. Okay, now it does say 12 hours. It's too late for me to do a 12-hour wear test, but I can if you want me to, because I know some of you are concerned about that, or I can just watch it and let you know, because yeah, it's just the afternoon already, so we're not gonna get 12 hours in. Yeah, I really like that. Okay, that looked much better than I thought it was gonna go. Really beautiful. And then I think we just need a lip. Okay, we're getting, let me see, the concealer. So I went in with a little bit more of that concealer and it kind of is creasing. So I feel like for me, this eye concealer might be better just for the eye area, but this concealer might be better for just the face part. What shall we do for a lip? But this is the Sisley. Like, I really love these pH lip things, and they're all different. I've been using the Prada one, the blue one. I've been using this. Style this hair a little bit. And then let's find a lip. Oh, by the way, just a tip about bangs. I know some of you may be wanting bangs after seeing this, because that's why I wanted bangs. I saw somebody else with them and I thought, let me just cut them. So I did not cut my bangs. If you saw the last video where I talked about them, I talked about this in the vlog, but if you don't watch the vlogs, I talked about in the Victoria Beckham video, possibly getting bangs. And I was tempted to cut them myself, but I would not advise doing that, because when I saw my hairstylist do this, he cut them dry. So I think that helped, but he cut them so fast. I mean, he really knows what he's doing, but it was like a motion like this almost. It wasn't across. He just went like he literally maybe did 5 cuts and then came out with this. That's how good he is. So I would never have cut my own bangs like this for them to do what they do. So I just wanted to touch on that in case you haven't seen the vlog. I talked a little bit about my bangs, but they are cute for the most part, but they are also high maintenance. They look really good with no wind and if I stay really still. That's how they look best. So they don't look like this all the time. Like I said the other day, like my hair was just like this. They're high maintenance, but I think I am willing to put up with them for the results. I think they're really cute. So in case you are tempted to cut your own bangs, unless you're a hairstylist, maybe wait till a professional can cut them. Okay, let me go find a lip. By the way, I used a round brush for my bangs, and then I used the Dyson Air Straight for the rest of my hair. And then let's go in with this, revisit this. This is 6 o'clock by Chanel, this one in this packaging. And I need one more thing. Oh, here it is. Now it's not as evident because of the bangs now, but I always add this, like never fails, that I add this to the exterior part of my eye. I guess that's one thing with bangs, it's not as visible. The dark contour right there on the end of my eyes, that changes my eye shape. But this is Clé de Pose concealer. Okay, oh, I also forgot. I wanted to use a little bit of this Miracle Balm. It was sitting right here the whole time, by Jones Road Beauty. And this is in the shade, what is this shade called? Pinky Bronze. Oh, and I just got some on my light there. So we've got Pinky Bronze here, and I'm just going to use it as a bit of a highlighter. So this is great for those drier skin types. I think you might really like this. It's really hydrating. I mean, it's a balm texture. Just subtle. Okay, thoughts on these products. So again, the Pesche is not new, but BD41 is new. Not the formulation, but the shade BD41 in the concealer. So I wanted to get this because again, BD41 is my perfect shade match in Chanel foundation. Sorry, this is one thing with bangs. Like I like them longer, but they also end up in my eyes sometimes. Argument against bangs in case you were wanting them. But the Pesche looks still really nice on the skin directly. This is the second one I've purchased now because the other one I had it's been a while since I picked it up. And I really like it for color correcting purposes. And then this one in BD41, I think looks nice if you have like a lighter skin tone than me and also warmer. So I think if you have dark spots, maybe together would be nice, but I don't know if I needed this, but I do want to try it in case you wanted it. Also as an alternative to under eye concealing in case you just want one concealer versus this dedicated eye concealer by Chanel. But I would use this for super perfected looks and then this for just like on the go, super fast makeup. Then we have this Chanel top coat. And I think it's really interesting, but I don't know if it's my style. I mean, it really added something interesting to this Brun Talpa, which I love, but I love Brun Talpa by itself. It didn't need anything in my opinion, but I wanted to give it a try. I wanted something that was going to brighten that area, just give it a little bit of dimension. And I feel like there's another shade like Beige something, what is it called? Beige Sable. Maybe that's the one, but I can't tell if it's like a multi-dimensional. It looks really pretty. Maybe that's the one I should have picked up. But let me know if that's the one I'm thinking of that I probably should have gotten instead. I was surprised by this. I really was happily surprised by this. So I think the technique of going in with the concealer or the color corrector and then immediately going after with this before letting it set, I think was the key there so that it didn't disrupt the already set concealer. Kind of let them be applied together and then also set together. I'm enjoying all of the new makeup releases. I still have other makeup I need to try, like this Swede powder, this Miracle powder. Maybe I'll try it on in that video as well. So do let me know what new releases you'd like to see. I know I'm a little bit later, like I'm not the first person to post, but that's okay. I'm okay with not being the first person. It's a little bit less pressure to try and post so quickly and turn them around so quickly, and then I have a little chance to play with them and be a little bit more thoughtful about how I'm going to put things together. But that is it for today's video. So please take care of each other, stay well if you enjoyed this video. If you learned something, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next time.